right, we're with Todd Oehrlein after a really great performance up and down. You have an individual champion, a third place finish, compared to where we were talking a year ago.
Yeah.
This has got to feel pretty sweet to play the way you guys did.
Yeah, I mean, last year we just had a slow start coming out of the spring, but much better team than that. And the girls had this on their calendar, there's no doubt. I mean, they were targeting that because they knew they were disappointed in what they did last year. But new season, new year, and just amazing golf this week. Just really solid all week. I mean, just all 3 rounds. Didn't get as much out of the second round as we did, obviously, rounds 1 and 3, but round 2 was a good golf too, and they played really well. And so super proud of everything they did. It's always great to see all their effort and their hard work be rewarded. And,
right.
and it is a group that's working really hard and putting a ton of time in. So super proud of that. And then obviously anytime you get a win, it's just really special and a little icing on it. And super proud of Chloe. It's hard to win in golf. I mean, it's just you just don't win a lot, at this level, especially when there's so many great players. And so just really excited for her too.
And it was so crowded on that leaderboard for most of the day individually that for her to emerge shows how steady she was.
Yeah, she was so good. And it was crowded. You're right. And you knew you had to keep going, right? I mean, there's no just protecting, right? You got to keep going. You got to keep making things happen because the golf course was in great shape and the weather conditions were just perfect out here. So you really had to kind of keep the foot on the gas, and she hit it beautifully and just hit it really, really well. But the biggest thing was just, I mean, especially kind of coming down the stretch here this round, every putt she hit had to look like it was going to go in, and she made quite a few, but just really good putting around, really solid.
And what you said about her having to keep going forward applies to the team too. I mean, you didn't want to lose third place, and you were making a run at Kansas and Oklahoma, and it had to feel pretty good. I don't know how often you refresh your coach's look, but I mean, those red boxes just kept popping up all day.
They did. They really played a solid final 7, 8, 9 holes and just really did a ton of great stuff. Just great contribution across the board, like we already mentioned and stuff. So it was nice to see that kind of balance and see some scoring that way. We tried to make a little push and get into with Oklahoma, but we kind of probably let those 2 teams get a little too far away in round 2.
Sure.
But we did a great job. But then, the teams behind you are going to keep coming as well, right? They're going to keep making some things happen. So you've got to go out and you just got to play. So I love to see the confidence in how they executed. Love to see the assuredness of just knowing that you're going to make stuff happen, and they never backed off of that. So it was just really encouraging. A lot to build on for sure.
Well, and you've already got some great performances this year from people like Carly Carter, who was an individual performer here last year, and now has been your one at several tournaments this year, and then Camille today with her 68 was a breakthrough round 2.
So excited for Camille to get that round in there. This was her first round actually, or her first tournament I should say, in the actual top 5. She's played as an individual a couple of times in the last couple of years, but
wow.
So that was just a really great thing for her to kind of get in there today and kind of do that. And Carly's just been really steady, as you mentioned. She's been steady all year. Could kind of see it start to change last year. Carly and I were talking about it. It's spring. You could start to see her start to find a little rhythm, find some confidence. Kind of cleaned up some things in the golf side of things that she needed to kind of get a little better, and you could start to see that confidence build. And this year she's been really steady so far throughout the season. You mentioned throughout the year. I mean, Vanessa's been great all spring. She got a great start last year or last week at FAU and finished runner up there. So off to a good start. Kate's given us a nice little shot in the arm too as a freshman who's come in, and so the team as a whole has just been doing great, and just hopefully we keep building on it, right? And just keep building. They're hard workers. Love golf, passionate about it, which I love and is super important. So they come ready to go and energized every day to the practice facility and come ready to go. And so, excited, proud of them.
Carly said about her year and Camille said about her day that they just tried to clear their heads and not get too analytical. I mean, I think Camille said today the difference was not overreading putts, but with Carly all year, it's just making sure that you aren't overthinking what you're doing out there. And I think when you simplify golf, sometimes it comes a lot easier.
I mean, the confidence kind of some of it is confidence that they have out there. Confidence also comes from good execution, right?
Right.
And so,
right.
I think it's one of the things where when you work really hard in practice and you work really hard in what you're trying to build and you put your time in, competition can kind of free up for you a little bit. And they got to kind of trust that and believe in themselves and believe in the work that they put in. And days like today and tournaments like this weekend kind of provides that reassurance for sure. But it's great to hear that that's what they were saying and what they were commenting on. And when you just find some belief out there, it can kind of make some pretty fun things happen.
You clipped the school record yesterday by a shot, and today you blew it away.
Yeah.
I mean, and you didn't. I mean, by the end of the day, you kind of had third locked up, but you just kept adding those birdies, and all of a sudden you're at 270, which we've got some firepower in the sense that we have multiple players that can go and put up some really low numbers. So I think that's something that we have some of that depth. Now, we always need to find a little more consistency and kind of try to do that, right? But at the end of the day, we have that, so that's been good. The golf course was perfect. Yeah.
The golf course was in great shape and the weather was just ideal, right?
Sure.
And so we had great scoring conditions, but you still have to go out and take advantage of it and capitalize on it. And that doesn't always happen either in this game. And this group did this week. They went out there and kind of took advantage of it and really did a lot of great things. So I was super excited for them.
And lastly, you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, but as you gaze in your crystal ball, what does this do for you going forward?
Well, I mean, if they should find a lot of confidence from it, I know they will. And but there's still plenty that they can tighten up and clean up on, right? And you kind of find a little more consistency with it. But oh my gosh, it just come back, stay in the process. Part of what led to this performance, which was solid, is that they've been practicing really hard and they're really focused on what they're doing. They have good plans when they come to the building and they come to the golf course. And
sure.
So just keep building on that too. Don't lose sight of what helped get you to that spot and put together some good golf.
Exactly. Well, you get a flyover leaving here. That's awesome. Todd, thank you.